back to my curry workshop. I finally got my hands on 3 of Derbydave's new restaurant collection spice kits. We've got Keema, we have Dansak, and we have Mirch Karai. So today I'm going to be recording a short simple tutorial for you for Keema with bell peppers, also known in your restaurant as Shimla Mirch. Let's have a look at the ingredients. So the first ingredient you need is one of Derbydave's Keema restaurant kits. In each of these little jazzy containers, when you open them, you'll find a number of small little pots, each of which is a stage of the recipe. And what we're doing today, I'll be breaking down the method into 5 to go with the pots to keep it as simple as possible. First pot we'll use to infuse the oil. It's actually called infuse the oil. The second pot is the spice blend, the masalas, and it's called add and stir. The third pot, entitled Rice is Nice, we'll use to flavour the rice. And the final 2 pots will go in more or less together. So we've got some herbs we go. And the final pot, entitled Finish Me Off, good title Dave, will go in at the end to finish off the dish. Moving on to the rest of the ingredients, you will need 4 tablespoons of vegetable oil, 4 cloves of garlic, finely chopped, and 1 inch of ginger, either finely chopped or grated, and just combine them together. You'll also need 2 medium red onions, finely sliced, 1 tin of quality tomatoes, 750 grams of beef mince. We'll be adding in 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 bell pepper. I only had 2 small, so I've got 1 small green pepper and 1 red pepper, approximately 170 grams. We're finishing off the dish with 3 tablespoons of freshly chopped coriander. For the rice, we'll be using 3 cups of basmati rice. Okay, let's get cooking. This is the first time I've cut this dish, so to help myself out, and also it's a tip for cooks at home, is to line up your little pots you get from the kits with the ingredient group. So we've got the infused oil with the oil, we've got the masalas, the add and stir mixture with the minced meat, we've got the Rice is Nice blend to go with the rice, and we've got the 2 pots that go in at the end that help finish off the dish, the herb we go, and the finish me off which will go in with the coriander. So it just helps to keep your ingredients in the right order, so there's less pressure during the cookery process. So in the video I've included a summary of the stages just after the ingredients, and my advice is to just hit pause on screen and then you can read through the wording there if you just need to clarify any points. Okay, stage 1, with 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. And we'll heat that through to a medium temperature. Once the oil's heated through, we'll go in with the garlic and ginger. Stir it around. And we'll cook for 2 to 3 minutes to cook out the rawness. The garlic and ginger starting to brown off at the edges. So I'm going to go in with the first small pot of the day, infuse the oil. The cinnamon bark, star anise, cloves, green cardamom pods. And just stir them round so they're coated in oil. And they'll continue throughout the cookery process to infuse the oil and the overall dish. Wow, lovely aromas already. We'll just let that cook through until the seeds start to crackle. Already that's smelling amazing. You smell the cassia bark, the cinnamon. That is just really nice. So in with the onions. Stir them in to ensure they're coated with a little bit of the oil. Also at this point, I'm just going to add in a little salt to help dry out the moisture, which helps with the onion cookery process. So just a couple of turns of my salt mill. I'm going to cook the onions for between 5 to 7 minutes until they're nice and soft and they're just starting to turn golden brown. Onions have been cooking now for about 7 minutes, some of which have started to turn golden brown. That's through. Now if you want to, you could continue to cook the onions until that darker brown. It's entirely up to you. So at this point I'm going to add in the next ingredient, which is a tin of, in this case, chopped tomatoes. Stir the tomatoes in and allow the dish to come back to a boil. If you buy whole tinned tomatoes, once they're in the pan, just break them up with your spatula or some scissors into small pieces. The dish is bubbling away nicely now. So what I'm going to do is place in the lid, leave it on a medium heat to continue cooking. Whilst I move on to stage 2, and in a separate pan I'm going to cook the minced beef. In a separate pan I'm going to add in the other 2 tablespoons of oil. 1 2. We'll allow the oil to come through to temperature. So I'm going to go in with the minced beef. I'll use my spatula to break up the minced beef. I'll then cook the minced beef until it's brown on all sides. Minced meat has been cooking for 10 minutes now, so just keep breaking up, stirring and breaking up any lumps with your spatula. Meat is turning brown, still a few pink areas, and I'll leave it to cook on for longer. The minced beef's been cooking now for 20 minutes, definitely brown all over. In some areas I have to get some nice dark brown meat. So what I don't want to do is overcook it at this point, but if you want to cook it for longer, again, you can, personal preference. At this point, I push the mince to one side. I'm just going to scorch the peppers for a few minutes. Let those fry off. Help scorch the skins a little bit, give an extra flavour to the dish. So as the peppers cook, they start to blister on one side, and you can hear the popping sounds. Little blisters there. At this point, we'll add in the rest of the ingredients. A teaspoon of salt. And most importantly, we're going to add in the add and stir, the spice blend. And give it a good stir in. Lovely browned minced beef coming through there. That does look rather nice. We're going to cook for about 2 minutes in total, but what I'm going to do, I'm just going to add a splash of hot water. Stir that in. That will just help to prevent the spices from burning. Once the spices are cooked, I'll transfer the contents of this pan back into the other pan. Here we go. Stir it back in. So I'm going to add in some water. 1 splash. 2 splashes. Stir that round. I'm going to go back on with the lid. I'll have the mixture to come back up to temperature, and then we'll turn it down to a simmer, and we'll simmer for 20 minutes. Adding more hot water as required to adjust the consistency of the gravy to your liking. Right, time to do the rice. So, in the kitchen, I soaked and then rinsed until the water ran clear 3 cups of rice, basmati rice. Pan, I'm going to add 6 cups of water. 6. And then 3 cups of rice. 3. To ensure you measure the rice to water ratio, so 3 cups of rice to 6 cups of water. Time to add in the rice is nice mix. Very nice. Sprinkle that in. Stir it in. And bring the pan to a boil. The rice has come to a boil, so I'm going to turn it down to a simmer, and we'll leave that to simmer away for 8 minutes with the lid firmly on. The rice is now at its 8 minutes, so I'm just going to take that off the heat. Just leave that for 5 minutes whilst I finish off the curry. So let's have a look. Wow. I added a little more hot water during the cookery process because I just wanted a little bit more gravy because it'll get absorbed by the rice. It's up to you if you like a dry keema. Keep the lid off for a while and let it cook down. Let your gravy a little bit more saucy. Add some more hot water at this point. We're now at the 5 minutes to serve point. So I'm going to add in the last 3 ingredients, starting with finely chopped coriander, 3 tablespoons. And the last 2 pots of herb we go. Finish me off, finishing spice. Stir it all in. So pop the lid back on. We'll keep that on a low heat until the rice is ready to serve. I've got a confession, my wife normally takes care of the rice, and this is the first time I've actually cooked rice using the absorption method, so fingers crossed. First of all, when you take the lid off, the aromas just hit you. Star anise, cinnamon, it's just beautiful. Really nice. A little shake. Now, isn't that just beautiful? Finish it with a sprinkle of finely chopped coriander. What a beautiful, beautiful looking dish. That's out of this world, Dave. The aromas, the colours. Wow, I cannot wait to get stuck in. Have a little dig around there. Wow. Lovely sauce, lots of gravy. Peppers, onions, the aromatics. That just looks great. Wow. Time for a taste. Mincemeat, pepper. Oh wow. That is the best Shimla Mirch I've ever had. Wow, Dave, you really know about spices. What a spice kit. Why would you go to the restaurant when you can knock out this quality at home? If you like my video, could you please do a few things? You could order some of Dave's restaurant collection kits from his online shop. And also, if you could please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you all soon. Thank you. Bye.